The Supreme Court has started utilizing an automation system from today to assign hearing dates. The allocation of hearings for pending cases at the Supreme Court was conducted through a lottery system before this. Recently appointed Chief Justice Bishambar Prasad Shrestha expects the introduction of the automation system will address the irregularities seen within the apex court. Good evening, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha and these are the headlines of the hour. Hearing of those arrested in the Lalita Niwas land scam starts at Kathmandu District Court from today. Hearing of Shiva Bhattrai and Rudra Kumar Shrestha held at the bench of Judge Bholanath Shrestha. Chairpersons of all 10 thematic committees under the House of Representatives elected unopposed. Rashtriya Swatantra Party withdraws its candidacy for the Industry Committee. North Korea to start allowing its citizens to return home who have been locked out for almost 4 years due to pandemic border controls, returning individuals subject to a 7-day quarantine under medical supervision. And India's Neeraj Chopra wins gold medal in javelin throw at the World Athletics Championship. Chopra becomes the first Indian to claim a World Athletics Championship gold. Hearing of those arrested in the Lalita Niwas land scam has started at the Kathmandu District Court from today. The District Government Attorney Office had filed the case at the Kathmandu District Court yesterday against 310 individuals for their alleged involvement in the infamous Lalita Niwas land scam of Balwatar. Out of them, hearing of 17 individuals in police custody has started at the Kathmandu District Court from today. The hearing of Shiva Bhattrai and Rudra Kumar Shrestha were held at the bench of Judge Bholanath Shrestha today. The District Government Attorney Office filed a case for forgery against incumbent Secretary Krishna Bahadur Raut, Joint Secretary Sushil Vaidya, former Deputy Prime Minister Bijay Kumar Gachadar, and 3 other former ministers, as well as 6 former secretaries, among others. Even as the Central Investigation Bureau CIB of Nepal Police had recommended the government to file a case under organized crime alongside fraud, the case was only filed under forgery. The District Government Attorney Office decided to only file a case for forgery, citing that there was lack of evidences for filing a case under organized crime. The case was filed against Krishna Bahadur Raut, who is currently the Secretary at the Ministry of Communications and Information, as well as against Sushil Vaidya, who currently holds the post of Joint Secretary at the Ministry of Home Affairs. Former Ministers for Land Reform Dambar Shrestha, Chandradev Joshi and then State Minister Sanjay Shah have also been made defendants in the case. Likewise, former secretaries alleged in the case include Yuvraj Bhushal, Deep Basnat, Chaviraj Panta, Dinesh Hari Adhikari, Narayan Gopal Malegu and Rabindraman Joshi. Chairpersons of all 10 thematic committees under the House of Representatives have been elected unopposed. After Rashtriya Swatantra Party candidate Ganesh Parajuli withdrew his candidacy for chairperson of the Industry Committee at the 11th hour, all the chairpersons for the thematic committees were elected unopposed. From Nepali Congress, Ram Hari Khatiwada was elected chairperson of the State Affairs and Good Governance Committee unopposed, while Arju Deuba was elected chairperson for the Agriculture Committee and Santosh Chalise for the Finance Committee. Main opposition CPN-UML's Rishikesh Pokhrel was elected unopposed to lead the Public Accounts Committee and Kiran Shah for the Women and Children Committee. Likewise, Bimla Subedi of CPN Maoist Center was elected unopposed as the chairperson of the Law, Justice and Human Rights Committee, while Deepak Bahadur Singh of Rashtriya Prajantra Party was elected unopposed to lead the Infrastructure Developments Committee. Meanwhile, Janata Samajwadi Party's Rajkishore Yadav was elected the chairperson for the International Relations and Tourism Committee and Bhanubhakta Joshi of CPN Unified Socialist for the Education Committee. Likewise, Janmat Party's Abdul Khan was elected chairperson unopposed to lead the Industry Committee. The Parliament Secretariat has informed that the election of the chairpersons of the joint committees, which are in the share of Nepali Congress and CPN-UML, would be held in a few days. In the joint committees, Nepali Congress will lead the Parliamentary Hearing Committee, while CPN-UML will lead the State Direction Principal Committee. The Supreme Court has started utilizing an automation system from today to assign hearing dates. The hearing dates assigned by a computerized system will be informed to the concerned sides through SMS. Inaugurating the utilization of the automation system Today, recently appointed Chief Justice Bishwambar Prasad Shrestha stated that all the works of courts will be made technology-friendly to maintain good governance. With the implementation of the automation system, the employees at the court can work with high spirit. Chief Justice Shrestha informed that the implementation of the automation system will curb irregularities within the court and improve justice delivery. Shrestha also said the manpower within the Supreme Court has been used for assigning hearing dates through the automation system. Chief Justice Shrestha also informed that the automation system would soon be introduced at the Kathmandu District Court and then to other courts. The Nepal Rashtra Bank has amended its policy for working capital loans. This comes after pressure from the government and industrialists. The central bank has taken a softer policy for productive industries as they can take up to 30 million rupees on working capital loan, which for other industries is limited to 10 million rupees. Productive industries include those that work on raw materials or partially ready materials that add value by use of human resource or machineries to produce the final goods. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What should be done to improve the export of Nepali products? Your options are A. Increase manufacturing, B. Prioritize quality, and C. Improve policy. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Dengue cases have gone up dramatically in Palpa district. 4 hospitals in the district have reported 112 dengue cases since mid-July. However, the district health office says the real number of infections is even larger, as infected patients have also tested themselves at primary health centers, health posts, private clinics, and the district hospital. 2 dengue patients have died in Mission Hospital. The Tansin municipality and Mathagari Rural Municipality have implemented awareness campaigns which have yet to produce results. The number of patients of viral conjunctivitis has gone down in the Tarai. However, hilly region still struggles with cases. 5 to 7% of those in the Tarai region who reach eye hospitals have been suffering from viral conjunctivitis, while the ratio in the hilly region is 50 to 60%. Cases are also on the rise in Arghakhanchi and Kaski districts. In case of Kathmandu, Nepal Eye Hospital has been receiving up to 70 cases per day, and the Tilganga Eye Hospital 150. Doctors say the eye condition subsides within 1 to 2 weeks, but urges everyone with such symptoms to consult a medical professional and avoid taking medicines without doctor's advice. The price of onions have skyrocketed in markets of Madhya province as India began imposing taxes on exports. India began imposing 40% custom fees on exports from 20th of August. As a result, prices of onions have doubled in the Madhya region, including Janakpur. Traders say they were compelled to hike the price of onions by 100%, citing the 63% tax per quintal they have to pay for onions. Traders pay 2,200 Indian rupees for each quintal of onions, and taxes including 40% custom charges at the Indian side, 9% custom charges at the Nepali side, and 13% value-added tax. Amid the price hike, demands have gone down by 50%. Districts in Madhya region on average used to consume 1,200 sacks of onions per day before the price hike. Likewise, smuggling of onions have also increased. The Helambu road section in Sindhupalchok that was obstructed for 5 days following incessant rainfall has begun operation. Chief of Helambu Rural Municipality, Nima Galtsen Sherpa, said it took 2 days to remove the land debris and resume the road operation. Daily lives had been disrupted as the road remained inoperational. Vehicles that had been stranded since the landslide have begun moving towards their destination. However, authorities urge all concerned for caution as the risk of floods persists. It's time now for the international updates. North Korea will start allowing its citizens to return home who have been locked out for almost 4 years due to pandemic border controls. Returning individuals will be subject to a 7-day quarantine under medical supervision at dedicated facilities. It appears to be its latest act to scale back COVID restrictions, coming just days after the first Pyongyang flight landed in Beijing since 2020. North Korea is one of the last few countries to do so. Last month, Chinese and Russian officials became the first foreign dignitaries to visit North Korea since it shut its borders, arriving in Pyongyang to attend a military parade. Weeks later, the country allowed a delegation of its athletes to participate in a taekwondo competition in Kazakhstan. Many of the stranded North Korean students, workers, and diplomats have been stuck in China for 3.5 years. While citizens are now allowed to return home, it is unclear when foreign diplomats and aid workers will be let into the country. Reclusive North Korea had sealed itself off in early 2020 to keep the pandemic out, but also walled itself from all trade and diplomatic ties, cutting off imports of essential goods like food and medicine. Many foreign dignitaries, unable to rotate their staff or send in supplies for much of the pandemic, had to shut their embassies in Pyongyang. Since then, North Korea has been facing food shortages made worse by strict international sanctions placed on the country because of its nuclear program. But as North Korea begins to dismantle the remaining vestiges of its COVID-era restrictions, a move it says lines up with the worldwide pandemic situation, it has raised hopes that borders might soon reopen to the foreign diplomat and aid. But the process is expected to be tightly controlled and could still take years. China has said inbound travelers to the country will no longer be required to take a pre-departure antigen test for COVID-19. Chinese Foreign Ministry Wang Wenbin at a regular news briefing said the change will take place from Wednesday this week. In April, China dropped the PCR test requirement, replaced by COVID-19 antigen test results taken within 48 hours before boarding flights for inbound travelers. Chinese tourists making a comeback is crucial for regional economies. They accounted for 30 to 35% of all arrivals into Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, and South Korea in the summer of 2019, and 25% of visitors to the Philippines. Indonesia's high-speed rail line, or LRT, Light Rapid Transit, was launched today following a series of delays and security issues that marred the Chinese-funded project. The project, which is part of China's Belt and Road Initiative, was originally set to be completed by 2019, but has been beset by problems including a $1.2 billion cost overrun and delays on its commercial operation. Chinese President Xi Jinping told President Joko Widodo during the Indonesian leader's trip to China last month that both countries must ensure the project adheres to high standards as it nears completion. Hundreds of residents were evacuated in eastern China after heavy rains triggered flooding and landslides in multiple provinces. Emergency personnel evacuated residents in Sujiang City in Henan province after floodwaters rose to a meter high, trapping residents. Yidi, a city in Hubei province, issued a red alert, the most severe warning in China's 4-tier weather alert system, as vehicles drove through heavily flooded roads and bulldozers cleared rubble from landslides. China has been gripped by weeks of rains and floods amid an unusually wet summer. In late July, storms from Typhoon Doksuri caused record rains to hit China in over a decade, with Beijing experiencing its heaviest rainfall in 140 years. Eyewitness footage showed people sweeping floodwater out of a shop in Mallorca as heavy rains swept across parts of Spain's Balearic Islands. Strong torrents of floodwater was also seen gushing down a road next to the shop amid an amber alert for heavy rain and thunderstorms that was issued on Sunday by Spain's national weather agency, AEMET. The storm had also caused a small number of people to get injured on Sunday when a P&O Cruises Britannia ship collided with a petrol tanker because of high winds, according to Mallorca's port authorities.
Sports news.
The national cricket team of Nepal has reached Multan, Pakistan for the upcoming Asia Cup, which starts from this Wednesday. The team under head coach Monty Desai had been training in Karachi for the past week. The team had played a practice match against Karachi Gymkhana while in Karachi. As the team could not play in Nepal due to the rainy season, it had reached Karachi to prepare for the Asia Cup. Asia Cup begins with the much-awaited clash between world number 1 Pakistan and Nepal this Wednesday. Nepal are making their debut in Asia Cup. Nepal are in the group alongside Pakistan and India. Nepal will face India in Kandy, Sri Lanka on 4th of September. The other group consists of teams from Sri Lanka, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.